after a month, I was like, I think I'm done. And I was like, yeah, I think you are done. It doesn't take 3 months. It takes a lot quicker than that. But you have to, it's you, you have to turn up and show up and do the work yourself. I had to peel back a lot of my own issues and really understand where my blocks are, where my pain is, why I do certain things, how I self-sabotage. So a lot of this was great work for me to kind of understand really who I am and how can I give to the world. I have like I say, a job and a career, and I can give to my family, and I kind of maybe help some people, but it's fairly superficial. And I feel that I have more to give. And I know I want to give. I want to be able to really sort of help and change people's lives, which is kind of why I came to Lira in the first place.
Yeah. And I think I remember when we look back into our past, we see that we always had that desire in the attempts to kind of stand into, okay, can I just now stand into my own truth and my path and make that impact? And it's just always the invitation is there. And then there was time to just that's, I think, when we talked, it's time.
Right. Yeah.
Well, everything points to that.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember that day. And I think, I forget. Yeah. I mean, it was a case of, it's like, well, I want to do this. There's an opportunity here with Lira. I can say, so I think actually what it was also was I just started like a yoga teacher training. Mm-hmm. And then not long after that, the opportunity came with Lira, and it's like, well, if I don't do it now, I'll say, no, I'll do it in 6 months when my teacher training's done. And then, of course, I probably won't do it. And then I'll say, well, no, I'll do it. I need, something else has come up. And it was a case of, I had this drive. It's like, well, if you don't do it now, you're not going to do it ever. And you gave me like a process to help me sort of get through some of my sort of fears, mostly, irrational fears, and sort of these deep-seated sort of childhood type emotional reactions, which, I realize now didn't serve me and don't serve me. And I remember we put a date in the calendar, which was like, I think 3 months. And you gave me the process and you said, right, go do it. And I went and did it. And then we kind of touched base every sort of 2 or 3 weeks or so. And then after a month, I was like, I think I'm done. And I was like, yeah, I think you are done. It doesn't take 3 months. It takes a lot quicker than that. But you have to, it's you, you have to turn up and show up and do the work yourself.
Yes.
Your Lira is not going to cure me. She's going to provide me with the path and the accountability and the tools and the support. It's on me to do the work, which was fabulous. I did the work, and it was way quicker than 3 months. Then I was like, all right, I'm ready. Let's do this. What's next? Really interesting, because the certification kind of reflected the process that I went through initially before that. So the certification was putting a lot more depth into that and putting some sort of framework and guidance around that and information about the various techniques that and tools that you teach. So it's fascinating to kind of, having been through that process myself for my own healing, to then actually see the certification and sort of be on the other side of that, learning how to do that. It connected all the dots to me. It made sense to me, and I could understand both sides of it, which means having been through the healing and now done the certification, I feel, right, this is something I can teach, I can help other people with. That isn't scary to me.
I guess I'm meant to solve this problem.
Right. And once you've been through it, it's kind of like, yeah, it's obvious when I look at people or speak to people. It's like, oh, this kicks in, and I understand what the issue is. And then you realize, well, 6 months ago, 3 months ago, I didn't. And I'd be sitting there as confused and dazed and no idea what's going on with myself. And now I'm like, having been through this, I'm like, well, it's kind of obvious. And for me, it was overcoming myself. Probably everyone goes through that in some way, but it was to see myself not as what I'd labeled myself for like the last 15 or 20 years, which is like, you know, somebody who works in software, somebody who's like an engineering manager, somebody who has worked in corporate environment, and to completely step outside that into to be a coach who can help people and be more spiritual. That's the hardest thing for me. It was like realizing that and then being that. It was really difficult. That was tough. Or there's more to me than I need to kind of reveal and let it come out, and sort of give myself permission, I think, more than anything, to be that person, and to be that what I can be, and try. And I think a lot of it comes down to, so again, it comes down to kind of your own mental state and like the fears and inhibitions you have, which are all sort of, you know, again, sort of the issues you have to deal with. So it becomes part of your healing. I didn't really understand what you meant by that when at the beginning, business is your spiritual path. Now I do, because I think, you know, what's a very obvious way of showing some sort of success in this sort of more material world is business. And if you don't succeed at business, it's because of you, not because of anyone else.
No.
Now, the same applies for relationships and for your health and for all the other aspects of your life. But business is a very sort of direct and easy kind
very
of
direct, yeah,
you know, way of looking at that. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's fast. It plays out very fast. And of course, you've been witnessing all the other people, and it's like, oh, I had this healing, and next day I went and made 10 grand, or I had this.
Right. Yes.
You know, it's like it just happens all the time. So if you know that, you're like, hey, can I just do business, please? Like,
because you're very very good at seeing very directly me and telling me quite straight and quite directly what I'm doing or why I'm doing something or what's going on. It's very surgical. It's very, you know, you don't get, it's like to the point. It's like, oh, damn, yeah, okay, Lira hit the nail on the head with that. I didn't realize that. Okay, I need to think about that, you know, yeah. Direct enough, you don't let people wriggle out of it. It's like, okay, because you also hold accountability. And I think people who are kind of spiritually aware, this is great. I mean, it helps you develop as an individual. I think people who really have a passion or a calling to help other people, I think would really benefit from this. People who maybe already have a business, but it isn't successful, or you've tried several things or several failed projects, you want to call them, and usually they're failing because of yourself. And so if you want to address yourself and have whatever these things succeed, then I think that would be a great opportunity too.